hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. It is Nick C here for the Events and Places show with normally Nick C and Giuliani, but I thought I'd give Giuliani a little bit of a breather. Unless he wants to come on later on in the show, it all depends on him. It's, of course, a scenario where it's under his discretion, a bit like a bus driver with the, of course, front seat. Well, there you go. Of course, we will be talking about, of course, something that, will be interest to the something that might be interested. We'll continue on with the, of course, melodies that you're hearing right now, which is quite relaxing music, to say the least. But what I would say is, it's one of our theme tunes, so, of course, welcome to, of course, Wednesday, 23rd of August, 2023. And we'll be talking about, of course, reminiscing. Yes, it's nerves here. So please, bear with me, or bear with me, I don't know. But of course, yes, just remembering those times. Sometimes you just get carried away. So, remembering the other day that we experienced in our life in history, best moments ever, of course, being photographed with Man of the Moment from We Love Great Yarmouth, which is a Facebook page, and of course, yes, it has been added alongside Shirley, who is his mother, and talking about who they are in a few moments as well, which is coming up in the show as well. So here we go. Brace yourself. Let's go. So where do we begin here? Very good evening to you all here. It is Events and Places show. Of course, we want to catch up with you guys out there. And, of course, I just want to tell you some news before I proceed with anything else. Please do, of course, comment in the chat and, of course, tell us your opinions on certain issues that we like to talk about here on the actual show. First of all, thank you for the recent subscribers, whoever they are, and sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. So, yeah, it's an interesting scenario, whichever way you look at it here. And, of course, it's only for starters here. We've got the mains and the pudding to come. But we don't really have real food here. Not in the studio. Not yet, anyway. Because we all had that earlier, didn't we? Some people had McDonald's, didn't they? Are you a huge McDonald's fan out there? Let us know in the comments here. I'll be chatting with you guys along the way. And, of course, you can get interactive. So, yeah, if you are a new person watching this and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. We've got our mods in here. Hello to you, Nikki. Good evening to you. And, yes, I know you liked, yes, I am very psychic, and I know you liked the merchandise. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So yeah, one mug will it be it will be rather on its way to, of course, a guy called Paul, who sends his address through eBay account, because that's how they, of course, allow us to send it to their address, because their address comes up on eBay. I don't know how many people actually know that. Most people who actually buy stuff on eBay or Amazon will have to give away their address, so that, of course, the shop online can actually post it to you. Because how would they do it otherwise? But yeah, that is the main thing out of all that. So yeah, first of all, I'm going to actually pick up something to read, and it's something that was given to me here. I don't know if it'll take me all day to read, but of course, yes, there is a website for this, and it's freebible.co.uk. If you're interested, you might think this is absolute and total nonsense, but of course, make of it what you will. Sorry if we're sort of freezing from time to time with the signal here. I don't know what is behind all that, but hopefully I'm still coming out loud and clear. That's the main thing here. So if I have to repeat myself, I do apologise. So this piece of equipment, well, it's actually a piece of paper, which was handed to me whilst on my way to the post box posting postcards of thank yous to certain amount of people that have given me addresses privately for me to send out lovely postcards. You'll find out who you are that has had one. There could be some people watching now, in actual fact. So, yeah, do look out for your postcard for those who have given me out dresses privately on social media. But yeah, this little paragraph here, well, actually, it's a bit of paper here, which is a bit in tatters, but anyway, yeah. It actually says this: how would you feel if your thought, sorry, what does that say? It says if your thought life was shown on national TV. So how would you feel if your thought life were shown on TV? What if a scientist told you that your every thought from the day you were born has been recorded and will be shown tonight on national TV? So yeah, how many people would be upset with you? Your thought life reveals the real unrestrained you. Most people think they're good enough to get to heaven and God won't send them to hell. But God has seen all the wicked thoughts and actions, according to this. Believe it or you don't, by the way. It's up to you. Okay? We're not trying to, of course, public, give it a publicity or something like that. I can't really pronounce the words, but yeah, we're not trying to, of course, promote anything at all. It's only what was given to me, okay? Same as these words for today, okay? They're only what's been given to me. Okay? So we go on to say, be honest with yourself, according to this, when you face God. He will find you innocent or guilty. If God gives you what you deserve, He should send you to heaven or hell. God has written His moral law on your heart, so you are without excuse. Romans 1:18/32. You know it is wrong to lie, to steal, and lust, and to curse, because God gave you the conscience to know right from wrong. Your own conscience, I think it is conscience, is it something? I don't know, but yeah, conscience. Your own conscience demands justice. Additionally, how many of us can say we have put the interests of others before others, or loved God wholeheartedly? Imagine a courtroom scene, okay, where a notorious rapist stands before the judge for sentencing. But instead of giving him the justice demands, the judge lets the rapist go free because he's a nice guy. Would you be outraged, and so you should be, according to this. But of course, most people think the high and the holy God is just like this corrupt judge, and that they can bribe him with her good deeds so that he will overlook their sin. Again, what would you think if the judge said to the rapist, I am a very loving judge, so I'll let you go free? Would you not think that the judge was loving at all, but that he was corrupt and not worthy to be judge, or to be a judge? The infinite love and goodness demands infinite justice, as, of course, God's love and justice are infinite. He won't just punish murderers and rapers, but he'll punish all sin whenever found. That's why the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God. 1 Corinthians 6:9. No thief, no sexuality, immoral person, no idolater will enter heaven. 1 Corinthians 6:10. And all liars should have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone. Revelation 21:8. Now the question for you, dear reader, is this: is there any hope? Okay. The gospel, good news, is this. Imagine you are in a human courtroom and the judge finds you guilty, or because he's just gives you the maximum fine. There's no way you can pay the fine, and then someone steps into the courtroom you've never met before and says, I've sold you all my worldly goods to pay your fine. 1,000 years ago, God became a man, Jesus Christ, who was born of a virgin, led a sinless life, and then suffered and then died, hanging on a cross to pay the penalty in full for all your sins. Then he rose again on the third day, defeating sin and death, so that him we can have an eternal life. It is not sufficient to believe intellectually. Even the demons believe intellectually. James 2:19. In order to have real forgiveness, you must repent, as Jesus himself said, unless you repent, you will also perish. Luke 13:3. Repentance means turning full away from your life of sin and turning fully to God, trusting in Jesus Christ alone to save you and not your own deeds, trusting the cross, taking God's wrath for you, the wrath you deserve. What are you waiting for? Don't gamble with your eternal salvation. Your life is a vapor, James 4:14, and you have no way of knowing which second will be your last. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Absolutely brilliant. So, of course, yes, you can actually make of that what you will on any level on that. Of course, do let us know in the comments what you're thinking right this minute here. And thank you very much for the, poll that is going strongly at the moment. 50% of you. Of course, if you were hypnotized by a professional, would you go through the procedure? Well, of course, it's an interesting scenario. Of course, 50% of you have said yes and 50% say no. Interesting. A lot of people, of course, tend to think that hypnosis is total, absolute nonsense. But what I'm actually going to do today is do something which is quite rare, and hopefully you'll get some idea of what it's all about here. I'm going to go to a professional here, which, of course, I believe is one of the professional hypnosis ever to be on the planet. So what I'm actually going to do is going to go to some of his speech that he did. You can see the full one online on YouTube channel, and I'm going to try and find it if I can. So yeah, bear with me on this. It's a great little thing here, and it's just wonderful to look at. So yeah, I'm going to try and find it if I can. Bear with me, and I'll start it in actual fact when we have a little bit of a breather in just a moment. It is definitely worth checking out. It's definitely something I posted on the actual, well, I put it on the We Love East Anglia, and of course, literally, I can't find it now. But hopefully I'll be able to find it on that page rather than on my comment section on there. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. It's eliminate stress, fear, and anxiety. Okay, it's certain ways that, of course, can help you if you believe in all this stuff here. You know, it can help you to feel less traumatized, whatever that traumatized feeling is. So yeah, I'm going to actually connect it all up. Bear with me. I've got to connect it all up. Okay, see if I can do that. I don't know if I can feed it through very well. Sorry about that. All this. There we go. That's better. Hopefully, oh, it's still there. Hang on. Bear with me. Let me sort all this out. It's all the technical stuff here. As we know, technical things can get a bit messy. Right. Come on, stupid little thing. Is it going to be there? Doesn't like it. Right, it's not seemed to be doing it. Oh dear, what's going on with this technical stuff here? It's not. I don't know if you can hear that, but
proportion of people have gotten into worrying too much. They do what we call catastrophizing. So they think, oh, this could go wrong and that could go wrong. I'm like a second family member.
I don't know if you can hear all that, but of course, yeah. Okay, what I'm going to do is go to a commercial right now because we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here, but hopefully we'll get this sorted out as soon as possible. So join us after this.
ears of your more relaxed self and feel this deeper relaxation. And I'd like you to imagine traveling out into the future a year from now. It's a year from now. And you've had one of the best years of your life. It's been amazing. It's been fantastic. And if that's true, if you've had one of the best years of your life, what must have occurred in regard to your health, mental and physical? If you've had one of the best years of your life, what must have occurred in regard to your relationships, personal and professional? If you've had one of the best years of your life, what must have occurred in regard to your career? If you've had one of the best years of your life, what must have happened in regard to your finances? From now, looking healthy, happy, and successful. And whatever things in that image symbolize health, happiness, and success, they're there as well. Maybe you're with family or friends, or maybe there's some symbol of success in business or something else. But you look at that picture and it tells you your life is great. Then float back 3 months from that and ask yourself, what needed to have happened 3 months before? And all the way back to now. So when you look at the next year, you can see pictures of you healthy, happy, and successful. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, that's it. And brighten them all up. And as they move further away from you, they get bigger and brighter. That's right. And you can see the general direction of your life, happier, more fulfilled than ever before. And put pictures of you 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, however long you want, way off into the future of you looking healthy, happy, and successful. So when you look at your timeline, your unconscious knows that's the direction to take your life. That's the direction in which you want your life to go. You want your life to be filled with all this happiness and pleasure and joy. That's the direction in which you would like your life to go. That's it. There you go. And now you've got a direction and it's compelling. Keep this in mind and remember to think about it regularly. Because I'd like to talk to that part of you I'll refer to as the controller, part of you that likes to be in control. I want to thank it for doing all the good things that it does for you. But just for now, if it could do them from the background of your mind or your experience, I'd appreciate that. Just move off into the background so you can let go of trying to control things in this moment. Next, I'd like to talk to that part of you we'll refer to as the protector, part of you that keeps you safe. And I'd like it to continue to do all the positive things that it does for you, but for now, from the background of your experience. So just move off into the background and you're safe. Now I'd like to talk to that part of you we'll refer to as the evaluator, part of you that judges, analyzes, critiques. And I want to thank it for doing all the good things it does for you, but just for now, I'd like it to move off into the background of your experience so you can let go of judging, analyzing, critiquing in this moment. Now, I'd like to talk to that part of you we'll refer to as ambition or desire, part of you that gets you things. I'd like to thank it for doing the things it does for you, but for now, move off into the background of your experience so you can let go of any desire in this moment. Now, I'd like to talk to that part of you we'll refer to as the seeking mind, the mind that seeks the way. I'd like it to continue to do all the good things that it does for you, but for now, from the background of your experience. Now, I'd like to talk to non-seeking, contented mind. Because right now, there's nowhere else to be. There's nothing to be done. Everything is perfectly as it is. Now I'd like to talk to big mind. How big are you? How small are you? When are you? Is there anything you're not? And in this experience of expanded consciousness, take any problems, challenges, worries, concerns, and drop them in and allow them to transform. Any fears, any self-doubt, any of it dissolves and transforms. And you will be a happier person for the rest of your life. you'll feel so good for no reason other than we've asked your unconscious mind to increase the serotonin, dopamine, the endorphins, all the feel-good, happy neurotransmitters. That's right. Because when you think about happy times, it makes you feel good. And the more you think about them, as you will, the happier you'll feel, because your natural default setting will be one of a happier person. In fact, when you think about yourself now, an even happier image of you comes to mind. Keep it in mind. Soon, it will be time to awaken from this experience, feeling refreshed, relaxed and alert, calm and confident, with a renewed sense of optimism and deep inner joy. Every positive thought you've ever had about yourself. And anything else that needs fixing on the inside, I'd like your unconscious mind to just go and do it. Thank you. 10, 9, 8. That's right. Beginning to return now to normal waking consciousness, bringing with you so many good feelings from this deeply relaxing experience. 6, 5, 4. That's right. You might want to stretch it in yawn as you awaken. 4, 3, 2, 1. Wide awake. Wakey, wakey. Rise and shine. Oh, who feels good? Yeah! Woo! Do you know, I went at it really fast because we were overrunning, and I've got 5 minutes left. I mean, so yeah, I just got time for one quick technique. I don't know if you'd be interested in this. So it's really interesting. A couple of my friends, they're university professors, and one in the US and one in the UK, and they both made studies about people who are lucky, right? And some people are disproportionately luckier than other people, right? And part of it is, if you know, people who believe they're lucky are luckier. You know, one of the studies was done in Nevada for the casinos. So they wanted to understand why are some gamblers so much luckier, right? And partly it's because they believe they're lucky, and they've got a whole mindset. So one of the experiments was Dr. Wiseman would give the participants a newspaper, and he'd say, count how many pictures are in this newspaper, please. And on page 3, there would be a big ad that said, there are 42 pictures in this newspaper, claim your £100 from the adjudicator. All the lucky people see that. All the people who believe they're unlucky don't see it, right? Because they're not filtering the universe in the same way. Now, I thought this was really interesting research. And I was watching this documentary a few years ago. It was about the Rolling Stones, and they were interviewing Keith Richards, right? And I was actually, the guy said, he says, you know, there's a list in rock and roll of people who are most likely to die. And Keith Richards smoking a cigarette, he goes, oh yeah. He goes, am I on it? And the bloke goes, actually, you're top of it. And Keith Richards, he goes, well, I'll let you know I get on. He goes, my luck hasn't run out yet. And I went, ooh, luck, like it's an energy, right? And so what I did was I developed a technique I'm about to do with you. And you know, it was really weird because I was standing, I was living in Hollywood at the time. I was standing in the queue at LAX, Los Angeles, at the airport. And there's this guy here, and suddenly he goes, my God, it's you! And I went, yes, it's me. And he went, no, you don't understand. I'm a poker player. And I've sort of lost my luck. And, you know, and I just thought, if only I could meet you, you might be able to help me. And I went, funnily enough, right? I did the technique on him, and I said, you know, there's billions of people on this planet, and, you know, you managed to find me. You must be a lucky motherfucker. And popped that into his mind, right? Into his mind it went deep. So what I'd like you to do is, I want you to, yes, see? You know what I'm up to, right? So what I'd like you to do is to remember a time that you either felt lucky or you felt like everything was going your way, yeah? So you're like, yeah, just, you know, it's all going really well, yeah, man. You know, so I want you to do that, and I'd like you to close your eyes and just remember that time like you're back there again now. Return to that time and see what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel how good you felt. As you make the colors rich, bright and bold, make the sounds loud, and the feeling strong, right? You're back there again. Everything's going your way, yeah. Feeling lucky, see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel how good you felt. Keep the memory going, put it on a loop. Woo, that's right, going through that memory. That's it, feels good, see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel how good you felt. That's right, yeah, keep remembering it. Everything's going your way. Woo, that's right, now you'll have a feeling somewhere in your body that lets you know you feel good, you feel lucky, you feel like you're in tune with the universe. And where is that feeling? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your head? Is it around your shoulders? And give it a color. What color is it going to be? Is it going to be blue? Is it going to be gold? Is it going to be silver? Is it going to be some other color? And I want you to move that color up through your shoulders, up to the top of your head, and then down through your neck, down through your arms, down through your chest, all the way down through your legs, down to the tips of your toes, and then double the brightness of it. Double it again and again, because if your luck was at, say, 50%, let's take it up to 60. That's right. Yeah, keep going through the memory. See what you saw, hear what you heard, feel how good you felt. And make the color, that's it, make the colors rich and bright, and make that color around you, that color that symbolizes luck, go to 70, make it go to 80, that's it. Even more, make it brighter, make it twice as strong, twice as deep, make it go to 90, make it go to 100, then make it go to 110, 120, 130, then a million, billion, trillion percent. Whew. And then open your eyes and come on back out. Who feels good? I would say thank you very much to Vishaan for inviting me to come here today. I love Mind Valley. You guys are beautiful. It's been wonderful sharing this experience with you, and I know I'll be sharing an experience with some of you in a day or so, but I hope our paths cross again in the future. May God bless you. God bless you.
Yes, God bless, of course, the beautiful voice of, I would say, even as a man, that voice is just so powerful, so bold, and just creative, isn't it? So if there's any ladies out there listening to that voice from, another kind of gender, like a lady, of course, that is just powerful, from the other kind of gender sort of perspective. So, yeah, back to me here. If you can see me here. Hello to you all. Very good evening here. It is Events and Places show. And come and say hello in the chat if you would. And that's what it's all about, this show here. We'll be having a special guest on the show tomorrow. And, of course, everything will be done in a different way tomorrow. Of course, the live stream won't be done in this sort of way. I won't be using OBS Studio. But what I will be doing, ladies and gentlemen, is streaming on my phone for a change. So it'll be done a different sort of way. And we'll be using, of course, yes, I'll be using something which is a new feature for the YouTube channel. So, of course, if you're interested in coming along to have a listen, please do come in, invite your friends, because I hope to have this guy on. If we don't, of course, we can just talk like anything else and get interactive with each other, that kind of thing. But the guy's name is Thomas Neal. I just need to get some information from the guy. But he will be the first time to ever come on a Together Live. That's what the feature's called. So if you've never heard of the YouTube feature called Together Live, it is a brand new feature. It's very much like Zoom, but you're doing it live on Facebook. No, not Facebook. Well, of course, you can do it on Facebook, but of course you have to have a third-party software, such as it's one of those third-party software that, of course, you use. StreamYard, of course, which is what we don't often use all the time. We have used that in the past, but, of course, it does dip some of the quality of a live direct stream. That's the only problem with StreamYard. But on that other note, you can put comments on the screen and, of course, keep you up to date with other things there. I'll talk about the hypnosis poll in just a moment here. Of course, yeah, Thomas Neal, of course, will be coming on, hopefully, all being well. I'll look forward to that, definitely, or we will, of course, on the Events and Places show. I nearly forgotten it completely, but, of course, we are live, and, of course, it is partly unscripted this, so of course, if I do make the odd mistake, like go completely blank at one time, it's because partly I'm not prepared sometimes. But of course, I do try my best. That is the main thing on all presenting side, anyway. So, good evening to you, Payne, Kristen Payne, that is, watching from Watford. And of course, yes, it is 11 o'clock. I know it's a bit late for everyone here, but of course, the show is almost over, but not quite yet. But of course, if there is something on the show you want to talk about for a couple of minutes or so, do let us know. But yeah, hopefully Thomas Neal will be coming on as a guest, a special guest, tomorrow night about 11 o'clock. So tell your friends, neighbours, whatever. And I think he is a media and promotional guy, a musical journalist, I read on his profile here, and a digital creator. Of course, hopefully he'll tell me more information, and hopefully we'll be able to test and preview the live stream before it goes ahead. It will be more a direct one, and it will be very similar to Zoom, but of course we're using YouTube rather than Zoom. Zoom can be good, but of course it might be a little bit like, of course, StreamYard, where the quality dips because it's a third sort of party software. I keep dropping everything on the floor. Yeah, I'll pick that up in a minute. In fact, I'll do that now. So, there you go. We are live here, and, of course, anything could happen on the show. Yeah. So somebody is saying something in the chat here. Okay, just checking in. Hello, of course, M3 TV. And yeah, remind us what your name was again. I don't know if I've got it written down. I need to have these written down so that we are not dealing with, those naughty ones that come on. Because we've had that on our previous shows, and of course, if people say things they shouldn't be saying, then it will be removed by moderator, no doubt. But of course, yes, Detroit, Michigan. Wow. So, did anyone hear the hypnosis here? Let us know. Give us a shout here if you actually heard it, and let us know if you changed your mind since the poll, which I just done a minute ago. Of course, I asked a question earlier, which has now being voted at 2 votes. Probably could have given it a little bit longer, but if you was hypnotised by a professional, would you go through the procedure? Say if it was like Paul McKenna, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. If it was like the world leading hypnosis of Paul McKenna, would you be hypnotised by someone professional like that? I would possibly do it. Of course, Tim in Detroit. Oh, you're watching from United States of America. How's it all going over there? We want to know all the news coverage, especially Fox News. But yeah, we probably watch others as well. But of course, welcome USA. Giuliani's in the chat as well. Of course, he can have his views on certain things. Maybe the football premiership he can talk about as well, because we know we got some of that to cover as well. We'll talk about that towards the end before we go. And we will nominate a star of the show. Normally we nominate quite a few. It depends on who comes in the chat, of course, yeah. And we include our mods as well, as usual. We are looking for extra mods. If anyone's interested, contact within. So, yeah, hi, Nikki says, Giuliani buzzing. He's from the Nice and Relaxing show, which hopefully does return at some point, maybe Sunday. Maybe Julian can tell us when he is going to perform some tunes on the keyboard. Hopefully they'll be out of copyright tunes and not detected by someone that believes they are out of copyright stuff and sort of making music of their own and using the original material as if they actually produced the song when they didn't. Like, of course, Water Music in the Air and things like that. But we are to get in touch with the Performing Rights Society to find out a little bit more. Anyone that doesn't know about the Performing Rights Society, it is a royalty, license. Well, it's a license for radio, of course. There's two things there. And also, the other part is if you are a musician out there, of course, the price has gone up quite a lot since it first started. You have to register your songs there. I started doing it when it was about really, really cheap days. But it's now gone up to £100 per, of course, artist. Don't know why it's gone up that much, but yeah, I can't see the reason behind that. Especially if you're not going to get back anything in your favour. But of course, you've got to think that, is it worth it out there? Are you going to get your money back from your £100? That's what you got to think very carefully before you put your music out there. But of course, for those artists that are just doing it for fun, then you don't need to probably join the PRS. Some people call it the PPRS, but it's actually Performing Rights Society in the UK. And there's lots of different societies out there. A lot of people don't talk about this, okay? And I don't know why that is. I think people should more discuss about the Performing Rights Society more than anything else, but they cover it up a little bit. But yeah, we'll be talking about that a bit more in depth one day. Maybe I can talk about this with the guy tomorrow. Hopefully he turns up for a preview before we go out live. And it will be done in a different way. It will be done on mobile instead of course, OBS Studio, which is what I'm using here. Of course, what can't you get from America? A lot of hot sauce. What can you not get in America? All right, okay. Tell us, of course, M320 TV, M3 TV. I've seen you on the channel before, but of course I didn't know what your name was. But of course we know where you're watching from, Detroit, I believe. But thank you very much for subscribing, and of course it's interesting to know how many people out there have discovered us just by chance, just by looking at somebody else's video account or YouTube account. But yeah, I've been looking at a lot of YouTube accounts lately, especially of Now TV. I've only just discovered. I think most people would have known this anyway, but me being old-fashioned, old school, whatever you like to call it, of course, I forget to realise, or should have known this anyway, because they broadcast Sly, as in Sky News. They say Sly over here in certain news channels out there. I think Dan Wootton says Sly. Dan Wootton from the GB News in the UK. But anyway, do look at that news. It's very like Fox News kind of style in the UK. But yeah, when I say, let's just say Sky for now. But yeah, it's actually an organisation a bit like Netflix. Of course, Now it's called NOW, formerly known as Now TV. And of course, yes, it is owned by Sky. Just want to tell you that if you didn't know. But of course, I was looking at some videos there, and they're all saying it's owned by Sky, and even on Wikipedia it does say that. And of course, yeah, it's a couple of videos that I've seen on this YouTube platform, and I've seen a couple of them, and they both said, of course, they are owned by Sky, which is what it's called now. now. But yeah, they explain on their channels how to actually get it cheap. And one of them actually, I think there's a guy on there, actually said that, of course, you can get good discount rates. But apparently not on the offers. If they offer something for like £26 a month for Sky to watch Premier League football matches, then of course it's only an offer, and if you cancel the whole offer, because you've got a kind of like contract for 12 months. But of course, if you want to save yourself money, you're not going to be watching it at the end of the season, for example, of the Premier League soccer, as they call it in America. But yeah, I would say, yeah, there's lots of ways to save money as well. If you are to order an entertainment package, and of course Sky package as well, so you can cancel your order, say for example it's $9.99, you can actually cancel and say you don't want it, and they might offer you the deal for like $2.99. That's just an example's sake, and of course you might want to take up on that offer, and you'll save yourself money here. And of course, yeah, if you don't need the actual entertainment package, then you won't use it. Then you'll cancel it forever, and of course you can do that as well. But yeah, you only pay for what you're basically going to watch. So yes, K Payne says, do you like Neil Oliver? Good question. Thank you very much for your question, Christian Payne there. Good question. Why is everyone all asking me? You should be telling me that, whether you like him or not. I quite like a lot of people here. You know, I'm a mixture of people. Okay, one minute I like Piers Morgan. 1 minute I like, of course, somebody else, Carol Vorderman. 1 minute I like, of course, Neil Oliver. He's particularly good, but of course, some are more better than others, I would say, on that note. Okay, just to make that absolutely clear. Hopefully, I've made a bit of sense tonight. So yeah, who here got really so energized? Even you hearing me now, okay, I feel myself being energized just for those short few seconds of Paul McKenna. The way he spoke out there, it just gives you that confidence. So, of course, some people would say that he doesn't direct towards the God, as some people prefer to pray in church, that kind of thing. That's up to them, you know, but of course, I see, of course, church in a sort of different aspect. Maybe I'll talk about that on a Sunday when it's actually more appropriate. But, of course, I would actually say this now. My own opinion on hypnosis is every time I hear Paul McKenna, it relaxes my mind and it makes me feel confident, makes me feel like him, actually. But, of course, not in that sort of way, because nobody can be somebody else, literally. You can't be somebody else. You can be a sort of very close to it imitation of someone else. You can sort of be nearest to somebody else, but you can't be that actual person. You know, if you catch my drift on that. And of course, this is where a lot of people think communist is a good thing. You know, they don't probably understand the full, you know, kind of. You know, way of what the word communist is. They probably don't understand that actual word, what it actually means. It means that they want you to be like them. That's the way that I would see it personally, but you lot out there might think differently. So yeah, let us know your thoughts. So Christian Payne, if you're still watching in the chat, tell us your opinion about Neil Oliver. Do you think he speaks his mind? Do you think he's absolutely you know, one of those kind of people? You know, I can't really do it on air because it might offend some people. This is not what this channel is like, of course, or this channel is about. It's about, of course, being friendly to one another, up to the point that we do it here. This is what this channel is all about. We are something a little bit different. The other thing I wanted to mention, by the way, today is by mentioning this guy who is a lovely guy that, of course, we were so glad to meet in Great Yarmouth recently, which, of course, was in Norfolk, one of our sort of times that we did a bit of live streaming, but, of course, unfortunately, our battery ran out, which was a bit of a shame because we were doing lots of videos and all that kind of thing. But of course, that's just one of those things. At least we managed to do something there. But we bumped into a guy and his mother by the name of Jason Lawrence, who is an admin of the We Love Great Yarmouth. Go and see his group and, of course, go and cheer him up because, of course, I think he's a little bit on the shy side and needs encouraging a little bit more. I do believe that. He's a nice guy. We did have a little bit of disagreements before we actually met, but we met, and of course the total enthusiasm changed as soon as I met him, and we sort of made up again. How sort of incredible was that? It was just amazing that You know, since you go on holiday, or we weren't actually on holiday really, but of course, yeah, we don't get time for holiday, but some people do. But I wish we did. I think we deserve one though. Just completely no live streaming, no nothing. You know, just for 1 week. But no, seriously, we bumped into this guy, Jason Lawrence, and his mother, Shirley Lawrence, who also had a photograph with myself and Giuliani from the Nice and Relaxing show. So I just want to give him a shout out. And of course, he promoted our channel and got a lot of people to subscribe to us, which was fantastic. Kay Payne, of course, says, Neil Oliver is my favourite presenter. So you prefer him than Dan Wootton, maybe? At least you like someone from GB News. Did you know that I've actually got a GB News mug? I would actually show you it, and there is a video if you really want to see it. And I have actually got a copy of it in the kitchen. Get yourself a copy on GB News. There should be one for the Dan Wootton show or Neil Oliver, that'll do. I like Emily Carver. I think she's fantastic. I think she speaks her mind. That's my own opinion about that. I laugh at Ben Butterworth. I think he's the most fantastic, laughable person ever on that channel. Nigel Nelson is another one. And they're all laughable people, I've got to say. And Sean Bailey's quite good as well. It's quite interesting to listen to. Yeah, someone called Nick on there on Headliners. Leo Kurse, they're all good. And there's just one or two of them which do my nutting. But of course, that's like any TV station there. Even Jeremy Carl's quite good on Talk TV. You've got, Vanessa Feltz as well. She's on there as well. A lot of them have, I've noticed, changed from GB News to Talk TV. I wonder how many of you out there have noticed that. Also, there's another one as well. I think the Snowflakes are still on there, aren't they? If you want to call them that, I'll just call them Snowflakes rather than the other word. Amy Nicole Turner, I think she should turn around and face the wall. What do you think of her? Christian Payne, maybe you're one of many that is watching here. Maybe Giuliani can give us his opinion on the chat as well. Don't be shy, give your opinions out. Of course, it's about freedom of speech coming on this channel here. That is what people need to turn to here. We need to get that back in our society again. It's really, really important for that. So, time is actually running out, but of course we will run over time a little bit. Unlike Talk TV, and the funniest thing, if you ever watch, of course, any of them, I think Dan Wootton had the trouble tonight, because I really didn't see it, but of course, apparently he got cut off before he said goodnight. I find that really, really fascinating why they keep doing that, because they keep going to the commercials. Forget about commercials, it's all about making money these days. GB News is supposed to be not like the mainstream, That's my nutting sometimes when they cut off the words when they're trying to listen to it. But Petri Hoskins is a lovely lady to listen to on Talk TV, and go and listen to it. Definitely worth a listen to. Different subjects all the time, and always has someone to talk to on the air. We might do that here because there's not many channels actually doing that actually at the moment. I don't know why. Maybe it's dodgy. I don't know. Maybe there's too many dodgy callers out there. If we did do it here on this channel, please do not phone me every time, and it is a private number officially, but it's something I can use for the actual show. I only want it for the show only, and of course if you do phone me several times without a good reason, then of course your number will be blocked. But of course it's only for the show, and of course if you do want to be a guest on the show, I'll of course read out my number, but of course, I don't want it to be used for any other reason. I would actually like a phone so that I can do it on another phone at some point. But that's another thing. I hope that someone can actually do it a better way, like using Messenger, that would be quite good actually, if Messenger works actually, and if it's hearable on air, you know, through this studio, this wonderful studio that I'm using called OBS Studio. I won't be using that for the Together Live, which anyone's welcome to join me on Together Live, using the link only that I give to you on an email, not WhatsApp or any Instagram or, you know, I don't know, there's too many to list, but of course, yes, it won't work on Facebook, definitely Messenger and WhatsApp. For whatever reason, maybe they think it's a scam link, but of course, it works better on emails. Maybe it's a professional way to do so. But yeah, that is just great. Thank you very much for all the opinions tonight. We're just running over time, but if you do miss anything, you can see anything you like on replay. So if you're watching on replay, hundreds of minutes later, then of course, hello to you. And of course, you can comment live and on replay as well. So you're not going to miss out. Anyway, going to read this to you all here, coming from the Word for Today, not Word to Today, or Word for, to Today, or Word of Today, as I call it. Word of Today is my little talk. Maybe I should sort of, I don't know, maybe I should use the talk of the day instead. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that in the future. I don't know. But this is UCB Word for Today, not Word. I do you know what? I keep forgetting it. It's very, very strange, isn't it? Word of Today. That's the one. Not Word of Today. This is UCB Word for Today. Now, I'm going to read you this to the best of my knowledge here, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And, of course, it might send you to sleep to relax here. So you can listen to my relaxing voice throughout the whole night or on another time. But yeah, before we go, of course, thank you to all the merchandise and anyone that has partially donated in the past, and all monies go towards the channel and, of course, the Habitat of East Town Park, a percentage goes to. So, yeah, how love is expressed. Serve one another humbly in love. Galatians 5:13 NIV. Right, okay. Giuliani might be listening to this. Okay, very carefully. You can listen again if he wants to. Love is mostly something you do instead of something you feel. Paul writes, "You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love." Verse 13 NIV. So how are you supposed to express your love? According to one author, as follows. A son drives for 5 hours to be with his mother on her birthday. A friend mentions to book he is interested in. So, yeah, a friend mentions a book he is interested in. Yeah, you get that? His friend remembers to find a copy to give to him for no visible reason. A middle-aged couple in a restaurant see a young husband and wife with little money and secretly pay their bill. A father knows how much his daughter likes having a clean car, so he sneaks over to wash it for her by surprise. People in a small group each other throughout the week is a way of expressing their care. A wise man once said that just as the 3 laws of real estate are location, 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 the 3 laws of a relationships, or just relationship, are observation, observation, observation. So that's observation, observation, observation. 3 laws of relationship. The people who give life to us are people who notice us. They know what we love and fear. When we work truly, notice someone else, love for them grows. When we work truly, observe another person. In that self-forgetfulness, our own soul flourishes. Mother Teresa used to say, if you can't do great things, do little things with great love. If you can't do them with great love, do them with little love. And if you can't do them with a little love, then do them anyway. Love grows when you serve people. Wow. That's, of course, according to Saturday, the 17th of June 2023. But, of course, I'm reading them on, which is now Thursday, the 24th of August 2023. And it was Wednesday, the 23rd of August 2023 on the beginning of the side, well, the other side of the show. So, yeah, just quickly remind you, and I'm going to have to really remind you more in depth on the next show about the Premier fixtures that are happening here. I'm just going to go through the fixtures here and see if I can remember by Saturday. I seem to forget a lot of times to, you know, remind myself what's on Sky and that kind of thing. So we'll go to Score Centre, because that's the best one to go to rather than the mainstream one. But yeah, let's have a look. So what's coming up? I've just got to find it here, so bear with me. Sorry about the noise there, the interference there. So yeah, dates. This we're talking about is a Saturday. So the first game being at 12:30. Giuliani's got to listen to this. Bournemouth against Tottenham. Okay, and the 3 o'clock games are as follows: Arsenal against Fulham, and Brentford against Crystal Palace, Everton against Wolves, Manchester United against Nottingham Forest, Brighton against West Ham, and in the Championship, Birmingham against Plymouth. These are all 3 o'clocks. Cardiff against Sheffield Wednesday, Coventry against Sunderland, Huddersfield against Norwich, and Ipswich against Leeds. They've got a home game there, of course, at Portman Road. And, of course, we've got Millwall against Stoke, Preston against Swansea, Rotherham against Leicester, Southampton against QPR at home at this time, a 3 o'clock game, and West Brom against Middlesbrough. That's in the Championship. League One sees Bristol Rovers against Wickham, Burton Albion against Bolton, Cheltenham against Northampton, which is a away game for Northampton, Exeter against Reading, Fleetwood Town against Shrewsbury, and Leyton Orient against Cambridge United. Cambridge United got a away game this time. Lincoln against Blackpool, Oxford United against Charlton, Peterborough against Derby, Port Vale against Carlisle, Stevenage against Portsmouth, and Wigan against Barnsley. And finally, League Two, of course, Wimbledon against Forest Green, and you've got Barrett against Wrexham, and Bradford face Crewe, Gillingham face Colchester. Sorry about that, of course. I'll say that again. And Gillingham, of course, face Colchester. Harrogate Town face Morecambe. Mansfield Town face Stockport. NK Dons against Doncaster. Newport Town against Sutton United. Notts County against Tranmere Rovers. Salford City against Accrington Stanley. And Swindon against Crawley. Walsall against Grimsby. So, yeah, I don't know if there's any National League here. Okay, I'll just quickly read the National League. Aldershot against Wealdstone. Altrincham against Chesterfield. Boreham Wood against Oldham. Dagenham Regiments against Barnet. Dorking Wanderers against York City, Ebbsfleet against Kidderminster, Gateshead against Woking, Maidenhead against Oxford City, and finally, last but not least, Hartlepool against AFC Fylde, or Fylde, yeah, AFC Fylde. which is FYLDE. So, yeah, that my all-weather friend is itching to say goodbye, actually. And I'd like to say a huge thank you so much for watching. And, of course, yes, only 1% of frames actually, have dropped. You know, I don't know why it does at all. But, yeah, just one of those things. We're going to say goodbye to you all. God bless to you all. Stay safe and join us tomorrow where we'll have a special guest on. And, of course, the guest, I believe, is coming from Peterborough. Of course, he's going to be talking to us on a mobile instead of a OBS studio. All being well. If it doesn't go ahead, as always, we'll carry on with the show as normal here. It'll be the Thursday show of Events and Places show. Live on the air. Good night to you all. Until then.
Thank you.